They go, hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to another hashtag LockBoss show and giveaway. I tell you what, we're in for a little bit of fun today, in particular because we're going to have Ryan from Cutaways on hanging out, talking about the newest cutaway padlock that he created. I tell you what, pretty cool, I tell you. But I do have to say, I've been sitting here as we were getting ready for this for the past 15 or so minutes. And I think the platform we use for this has some sort of weird bug. And I've been having the hardest time uploading the slides. So that might get a little interesting, all right? And we might have to, I don't know, let's call it improvise, all right, and kind of see what happens. But until then, let's have a little bit of fun. And of course, I'm going to be drinking a Topo Chico. So I did crack the top off, I guess. I don't think I've taken a sip. But anyways, hey, cheers, y'all out there drinking a Topo Chico or a Topo Chico or your favorite beverage of choice. So cheers. Fresh one. I'd be lying if I told you this is my first one today, all right? But all that news about like plastic bottles and like what they do or something, I don't know if I'm supposed to believe it or not, but man, I need to go back to the glass bottles, get back to the start. Now, one other, I don't want to float too many things out there, but part of me thinks the platform isn't actually having a bug, but Julio somehow is messing with me, okay? Julio's putting me on the spot, getting me nervous. Let's see. Yep, see, look, it only has 2 slides. You see that? I don't know. I think Julio's messing with me, everybody. So if anybody, Julio, if you're up from your nap, and it's possible, maybe fix those slides, all right? Just maybe. But, all right, everybody. Well, hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Of course, normally we would go the post of the week, the comment of the week, but I can't show you the post of the week. But I can talk about the comment of the week. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be talking about this comment. It actually comes from Liberty Lock and Key. And they say, beautiful cutaway. I love just to look at them. Practicing is another plus, though. Hashtag LockBoss. I completely agree, Liberty Lock and Key. And man, I'm so excited to be able to share those with you. Now, if you have questions for our special guest who's going to come up here in just a moment, go ahead, put them in the chat, and we will get to them. So I'll have to save the comment or the post of the week for next week unless somehow Julio fixes everything. So I don't know. I'll tell you what, 5 years of doing these lives, and this will be the first one that I've had a problem. I've had a lot of problems with audio or video, but never the slides. So anyways, Julio, maybe you can get that fixed. But with that being said, let's go ahead. Let's hop into the show, have a little bit of fun with Ryan from Cutaways. So here we go. Ryan, how's things?
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. So, hey, I guess we didn't scare you off the first time, and you're back for another round. So, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
And so I want to kind of hop in here. So I got right here, and I want to open it up, is the ABUS 8345 Schlage keyway. And I really like I don't think in the video I really highlighted the packaging that you did here. Fits perfectly into the box. Nice foam cutout, protects, it's kind of like a case to a coin almost, right? They put those plastic cases on coins. It kind of reminds me of that, minus the plastic in the coin part. But Let me go and open it up here. And so, yeah, so I would really love if you could, first of all, you know what? I'm getting a little carried away here. Let's start here. I just want to rewind for people who are watching the show for the first time and didn't catch the last one. If you did not catch the last one, make sure you check it out. But Ryan, can you kind of walk us through, like, I'm guessing when you were a 6-year-old, you weren't dreaming of cutting up padlocks like this, or maybe you were.
Right. No, I've always been into machining and CNC machining. It's not my job. It's not what I do on a daily basis. But you know, I've also been into lock sport for years and years, and I started seeing a few of these cutaways here and there, just kind of one-off pieces. A lot of stuff amateurly done with Dremels and stuff like that. And I thought I could just make some of these of the more popular models that people actually want. And first, I started with the American 1100, and then I moved on to the others, just based on people's suggestions. So that's basically how we got to this lock too. Is all based off what people keep emailing me and saying, do this one now, do this one, do this one. So it's all based off feedback, basically.
Yeah. So when you started, you know, and I want to kind of dive into a few of the details here, but when you started doing these cutaways, like, did you already like have a lot of experience on pinning locks, or what, at that point, were like from the lock sport time, or like were you opening these things up being like, what's going on here?
No, I had plenty of experience. I'm not a locksmith, of course, but I had plenty of experience just from years and years doing lock sport that I'm comfortable taking apart locks. There were, of course, a few challenges. Some of them are more of a bear to pin up than others, and easier to brick than others. So I had to kind of learn that as I went on. But no, I'm pretty well good with it.
Okay. And so looking at this 8345 here and everything, all the milling that you did, like, can you kind of walk us through, like, I mean, is there a lot of trial and error on this, or like do you just nail it the first time? I'm actually really curious.
There is a lot of trial and error. You know, you get your calipers out, you get your ruler out, and you do your best, and you'll find out that I'm off. You know, I'm off 1/8 of an inch here, and I'm off 1/16 of an inch here. So there was probably about 4 screw ups total by the time I got that design, which is usually a little more than it is, because that's a little more elaborate of a cutout than I normally do, for reasons I'm sure we'll talk about here in a minute.
Absolutely. So is like step one's kind of probably getting everything out of here.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And then getting in it. And I love, you know, you kind of have this, you know, you mill it in, and I don't know if I showed it, I don't know if you can see it, but like there's like a nice, like little bevel on it, you know? And to me, that's like where like a lot of the, like it starts to feel real artsy, you know, to me, like almost like a showpiece. But so not only do you mill this body out, but then you take the cylinder out. And as you know, in the videos that I've done about this, and I've talked about it, the thing I absolutely love the most about your cutaways is how you mill into the actual plug, right? And when you mill into the actual plug and you put the key in, okay, so I know you're not about to see this at home. I apologize about that. But when I put the key in here and I look, you can actually see the key, right? So you see the key, you see the entire bottom pin, and then you see the top pins and the spools, or, you know, whatever else, in this case, spools, but everything that you can see in there. And I think that is just awesome in the plug and in the actual housing. I mean, Ryan, I'm guessing that's a lot of work, honestly.
It is, and that's why if you look around and there's a few other cutaways for sale here and there, and most of the time they have only cut out the Bible. You know, you can only see the driver pins and the springs. And that's because one of the primary challenges of CNC machining is actually the work holding. Like, you've got to find a way to keep this piece perfectly oriented so that your cutter hits it just right, and you can't have them moving on each other while you're trying to cut. You'll start breaking things. So I have to clamp it in all a certain way and get it all. And it takes time to do that. It takes extra time to cut it out that way, but it is so much cooler. I mean, you can actually see the key. And the only reason other people don't do that is because it's extra work. That's really what it's the reason is.
Yeah, it seems like it's a lot of extra work. And then getting the diameter, right? So like when I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it and I'm looking at the diameter of it, I mean, at least to my eye, it looks like you almost like can see the entire pin, right? And it gives this kind of illusion at first that it's like they could almost slide out, you know? And I mean, is it a lot of work to get it in there and just get that perfect width, or is it kind of like, oh, that's easy? I sorry, BJ, sorry, I know what I'm doing, type of thing.
Well, that's part of your 3 or 4 screw ups when you get started. You realize that okay, my pin spacing is not quite what I thought it was going to be, or um, there was one lock that I did that I sell that when I first started selling it, I realized that 1/16 of an inch of an end mill was actually too big, and those pins would kind of start getting jammed up in there a little bit. So I had to actually get a metric, like a 2 millimeter or something, and get a little smaller so that wouldn't happen anymore. That's all part of your trial and error, really. But the cylinder is the least time consuming part to make. You can really make a lot of those. The lock body itself, there's so much more material to cut out time wise and effort wise, and the number of screw ups on the lock body is way more than on the cylinder, for me anyway.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Definitely, you got to get
And
those cutouts just perfect. I mean, it just got to be just perfect. The cylinder, you might be off by a thousandth of an inch or something, and you'll never notice. But those cutouts for the lock body, you better be right on, or it's not going to look good.
mm-hmm. And for the ones like I love on this one in particular here, how you have the window here to the I don't know, the gate, or what term would you call this here?
Oh, that's just all part of the actuator assembly, I
The
guess I
actuator,
call
yep.
it.
Yeah, and that's in there, right? And so if people want to practice different methods, um, that's there, which is really cool to watch. And just seeing when you turn the cylinder and what happens is cool. Ren, I'm curious from your perspective, like when you started in lock sport and you were messing around with just cutaways in general, like, do you know of any things that people use cutaways for that maybe is unique or kind of a little different?
Well, I think it's good for teaching people, new people especially, how a lock works. You get a lot of those clear plastic ones. I've had a few of those, and they all tend to break in short time. I don't know about anything that you guys sell, but
Sure.
um, I think it's neat because a lot of these can be bypassed as well, like the 7240 and the American 1100. They Different companies sell bypass tools like Sparrows, and I think some other ones sell bypass tools that you can get to learn how to bypass those. And yeah, I think it's something unique. It's an artsy presentation piece, but it's also can be a training piece. So it's a unique thing in the lock sport world, I think.
It is, and I think something like that you point out is a really good point, right? Like some of the acrylic style, like clear locks are definitely cool and they're really fun to look at, right? Because you kind of get the full visual 360. And of course, you can train on them, you can learn, you can do that kind of stuff. But there's something to be said, like when you grab, like, before you milled this was a real just 8345 brass padlock. And to take something that is real and do this it's pretty cool, actually, right? It's pretty cool because you're working on the real thing. And, over the years, when it comes to shackle changes, is something like when you show shackle changes and you start doing them, and next thing you know, you push it in and it goes flying, right? The shackle on it. A lock like this can go a long ways in helping to someone to understand what's actually happening, right?
And I highly recommend your tool you've got here for this. I use it every time I assemble one of these locks, and it's got another use too that it's not advertised. If you ever had to completely disassemble that 8345,
Okay.
it's very useful for putting the actuator spring back on the actuator. You've actually got to spring that thing by hand. And it's very frustrating if you're trying to do it with a needle nose pliers. And this tool, even though it's not really meant for that, it gets right under there. You can twist that spring and push it right down on that actuator. So I use it every single time that I do one of these cutaways for that model.
Okay, yeah. So to do that, so you're actually hand loading the spring in there, or the tension on it.
You have to. Yep, it's an actual separate piece. That spring has to be. And if you've never done it before, be prepared for frustration. It's but this tool makes it a lot easier.
You know, I have never done that before, so I'm gonna have to try that. Huh. Very cool. Very cool. So, Ryan, you know, what is, you know, here we are, you know, you have 4 different cutaways now, and something we'll be doing in the next week is making a bundle where people can buy all 4 together, you know, for like a little discount or something. It'll be kind of cool to put together. I mean, what's next? Dare I ask, you know, what, I mean, you have something else cooking up your sleeve at all, or, you know, and then I'll start kind of going through the comments here. I know I see someone talking about SFIC.
I certainly could. I've gotten some emails on those. I'm also thinking about doing a disc detainer lock, although those have been done by other people. So I'd have to kind of find a unique way to make that something different. I'm constantly getting emails from people asking me to do abloys and all those $150 locks, and I don't know, guys. I'm just a little the R&D cost. I mean, you know, if you screw up 3 or 4 of them, you're out $600 or $800. I don't know if I want to go there for that yet, but yeah, I don't know what the demand is for those types of things. But you know, the 8345 Medico, I see someone said down there. The 8345 was a suggestion from multiple people, the chat on the last video, and also a couple of people emailed me. So your suggestions mean a lot to me. I'm always open to suggestions.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm cruising through the comments here. Yeah. Medico. Yeah. You know, man, right. Everyone's wanting you to go down the high security rabbit hole, right? That's so interesting. Let's see here.
I'd like to know which Medico.
What's that?
I'd like to know which Medico does everybody want me to do? Which one?
Oh, okay, yeah. Put a Medico in there. Let's see what you're thinking. Is there any other ones besides Medico that as well? Now, if you were to do a Medico, what are you thinking? Like, would you do a Medico padlock, or would you just do like a Medico rim cylinder, like a mortise cylinder?
Oh gosh, I'd have to take a look at that and see what can be done. I've only really done padlocks so far and other things just as proof of concept. So I'd have to take a really good look at it. You know, my machine's not really set up to do a lot of stainless steel type stuff like that. That's a little hard on the machine. So it would have to be something that's brass, aluminum, etc. Not sure what they've got. I'd have to take a look.
Yeah. And Ren, I almost wonder on SFIC, if we were to send you cores and just have you mill the cores, and then we could just pin them here too. Could be interesting.
We could do that.
Yeah, that might be something to talk about later. And let's see here. What about automotive locks? Do you think there's any a lot of stuff out there for automotive?
To be honest, I don't think I've hardly ever seen a cutaway of an automotive lock. And also, to be honest, I have 0 experience with automotive locks. So it's kind of out of my range. Like, I'm not a locksmith. I'm just a lock sport hobby machinist, I guess you'd say. So yeah, I don't have any experience with in auto locks.
Okay. Yeah. I think it might be fun to do SFIC, cut it out and do it. You know, that's another one of those, like when you start talking about control keys and that sort of thing, it really, when someone's starting out, it can really mess with you, you know? And then like, so how does it actually pull that little bar in? And then the second part on that is that for those that like to practice picking SFIC, being able to have insight into it, I'm guessing would be very, very helpful. Have you ever spent much time on picking SFIC at all?
I have. I've got a few stuffed away in my lock drawer somewhere over the years. It's been a
Okay.
little while. It's been a little while since I picked one, but yeah, I have.
Cool. Now, and just out of curiosity, do you like using the different like specialized tension wrenches, or picking to the core doesn't, or picking to the control is fine?
I usually just pick to the control, but it's been a few years.
Okay.
So
For sure. Yeah, the SFIC cutout would be great. They're saying Medico X4.
I'll take a look.
And let's see. Hello, everyone. They love your cutaways. Would love to see a AFCU cutaway. Do you know what that is, Ryan?
I would have to Google that one.
Yes. Yeah. What? How do you say that? Isamu
Sushi. Yeah, it's a friend of mine.
Oh.
Friend of mine. Yeah, you should check out his YouTube channel. He's actually got a video of him picking the 8345 cutaway with like a close-up view of it. It's really cool.
Oh, nice. What is his channel name?
Isamu Sushi, his name there on your
username.
comment. Yep, username.
Perfect. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, guys, check that out for sure. Yeah, multi-lock. What do you think about multi-lock?
I have seen a couple cutaways of those floating around, so that's a possibility too.
Okay. And then here's another one. Safe deposit locks would be interesting. Yeah, I think you're right, George. Like super niche, though. It's like, I don't know, but there's something about having them, you know. Safe deposit, yeah. I don't know. That could be interesting as well, actually. Let's see here. James says, nice to see the precision in ABUS. Always been my go-to. ABUS, an American. Let's see here. Anyone see the insides of a lock when a core puller is used? That'd be interesting to watch it from the inside, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a fun YouTube video in itself, right? If you get like a real super close-up of the inside. That's really cool. Yeah, James is thinking multi-lock as well. I don't know, Ren, how hard would it be for us to get some Medico cores to do that, right?
Well, we could give it a try. I'll try to minimize the screw-ups, and let's see.
Yeah, let me sift through the comments here. Yeah, I don't know if a SFIC has ever been made.
I don't think I've seen one either. So yeah, we'd be breaking new ground there.
Yes, Ryan. Yeah, we'll have to talk after the show or over this next few days and see. Maybe I can send you some to play with. Might be kind of fun. Let's see here. Keeps cruising through the comments really quick. Let's see. Right down the other way. Okay. Yeah, medical cores are cheaper without keys, but then you have to open them. Hey, isn't that half the fun, though, right?
Yeah, right.
except for it might be hard to get a certain amount done in any sort of time crunch, right?
Right.
Well, let's see. Definitely a lot of R&D on Medico. Yeah, that's. I mean, there's so much, even just like with the ABUS or whatever, starting doing a new one. There's so many different little things that go into start to finish, right? Just to get it to this box in here. I mean, even to the part where you're doing these foam pieces, right? Like you get it all done and it looks like these are CNC'd, aren't they? These foam pieces.
They are. I have one that's just for that lock because it's a bigger lock. And then I have one that fits the other 3 locks we sell.
Okay. Yeah. And it just fits in there just nice and perfect. And I have to hand it to you, Ryan. And not only is the lock great, but the presentation that you have on this is absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you.
I really like it. But well, perfect. Yeah, Ryan. You know, I'm really happy you're able to come back on, hang out, and kind of talk about the new padlock. And you know, I'm really looking forward to what's next. You know, here you are coming on. You just got done with this one, and you know, we're all like, "Hey, Ryan, what about this one?" You know. But no, yeah, I think so many great ideas for all of you watching between the Medico, Multi-Lock, SFIC. I think the SFIC is probably going to be the easiest.
Yeah, maybe.
Compared to all that. And yeah, let's see here. Looking the comment. That's good, Ryan. So you have any parting thoughts for us at all? Anything changed on your favorite lockpick manufacturer since then? And then I have one final question for you before we're done here on the live show.
Yeah, I've got such a collection of lockpicks now that I've kind of just tapered off my collecting. I'm getting to be a klepto on those things. So yeah, I just usually reach for something like my Sparrow set of SS Dev picks or any medium or short hook. I just whatever's closest, whatever's nearby.
Okay. Perfect. And so for my last question, which is, what is your favorite cutaway to make? You have to have a favorite.
Oh, to make easiest or favorite when I'm done. Well,
okay. How about both? Easiest and your favorite.
The easiest is probably the American 1100. That's the one I first started with. That I sold only that for about 6 months when I first started this a few years ago. It's the easiest to make for various reasons. And probably my favorite when we're all done is the one you're holding there, that 8345. I think it's the prettiest, you know, brass cutaway. Oh, brass always makes a real nice looking cutaway when it's all done right. And I think it's probably the prettiest and my favorite when it's done. It probably takes the longest to make, but it's the prettiest when I'm done.
Yeah, it's very, very pretty on this. And yeah, I'd have to say so. I mean, mine for sure is the 8345, mainly because, you know, people in the security industry in particular, I mean, we spend a lot of time with this lock, and to be able to see the insides of it, it's really cool. You know, I was thinking about, you know, do you think my, you know, if I would have got this a little earlier, do you think my wife would have enjoyed one of these for Mother's Day? You know, do you think I could get away with giving her something this beautiful, or do you think I should stick to flowers?
I think you should probably play it safe and stick to flowers, unless your wife is a locksmith too.
No, she's not. I don't. She's probably doing one of those. So, is this gift for me or you?
Right.
Oh man, that's good. That's good, Ryan. Well, hey, thank you so much. You should be getting another order from us here soon. We had a run on the while people were buying these, they were also buying the pack lock. So expect to see that from us soon. And well, yeah, like always, it's great talking to you, and thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And right, everybody. Well, hey, Ryan, I think we're good. So I would invite you to stay around to finish the show out, but I don't have slides, and I don't think Julio has actually fixed them. So I'll go ahead and let you go, and we'll be in communication.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Have a good evening.
Thanks.
All right, everybody. Well, hey, how cool is that? Yeah, good stuff. You're right. It is good stuff. It's nicely done, and it is actually very, very impressive. So if you haven't already, we have the padlocks available on CLKsupplies.com or also lockpicks.com. So you can go ahead and check them out, buy them, and you'll be seeing a 4-piece bundle here in the next couple of days pop up. And make sure if you want to get all 4, you do that. You can save just a little bit of money. Now, here in just a minute, we're going to be going to announce the winners. But before I do that, I want to make sure I throw the link for the after party over in our friend Jimmy J's Discord. So let me go ahead and throw that in there. And I don't know, maybe Ryan will join us too. We'll have to see. But there's the link to the Discord. Check it out. So everyone who's watching is welcome to come and hang out with us. And it's just something we really just talk about anything. So a lot of stuff lock related, maybe a little bit of F1, maybe a little bit of really everything, you know. Sometimes I know we like to ask Adrian a lot of questions. So nice ones, of course. But yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So make sure if you want to come hang out in Jimmy J's Discord. And the funny part is, you know, as this has kind of evolved over there in his Discord, it's kind of like you'll see kind of conversations going on there all week long. So it's kind of cool to see that and see the different types of conversations that happen. And you'll even see a bunch of little extra stuff. Like you'll see us engraving on some MX13 keys on a service that we're going to be offering soon. Sometimes we'll talk about cutter wheels. Sometimes we'll really just about anything. So now, for the record, though, if you don't know what Discord is, it's just an app that you would download, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of like a chat room. I don't know, I guess if a chat room and a hangout video or audio room had a baby, it's something similar like that. I don't know. But no, Adrian is not the punching bag, okay? No. He is more like a pillow of comfort that he offers others. So no punching bag. But now, Julio, this is the deal. I mean, I'm over here. I'm in the hot seat here a little bit. All right. I got, I don't have my slides. Haven't heard any music. Oh man. I don't really know, but let me look at this. Let's see here. Look, it's only loading 2 slides. So I think they have I just think they have a bug right now. Okay. I think there's a bug with StreamYard, and but you know what? We're going to do what we always do, and we're going to power through it and get it figured out. So, man, Julio getting paid to do nothing. I know it's silent. Oh my gosh, you know, but all right. So, hey, Julio, how about this? We're going to do things a little differently. All right. So unfortunately, we don't have slides today. We'll have to be getting that fixed, but we're going to do what any lock boss does, and that's figure it out. So that's what we're going to do. All right. But Julio, music, please. All right. There you go. There you go. All right, so let me get to the slides here. Okay, now before we announce the winners, let's make sure we get on the same page on what to do if you win. You want to email us your shipping info to sales@CLKsupplies.com or call us at 800-848-6989 and we'll send your gifts soon. How to win. Comment on our videos with the hashtag LockBoss. Winners will be chosen from comments on the previous week's videos for our weekly giveaway. My favorite part is no purchase necessary. We're here. This is just one way that we can support you. All right, here we go. Winner number 1 is Polar Bear 7334. Congratulations, Polar Bear. Winner number 2 is G Potter BMX. G Potter BMX. Congratulations. Next up, winner number 3, this is, oh hey, it's the Little Lock Boss. Little Lock Boss, congrats. Glad to see you winning. Good stuff. All right, here we go. Winner number 4 is G Beavis 2490. G Beavis, congratulations. And of course, last but not least, winner number 5 this week is Steve Schmidt, 7140. Steve Schmidt, congratulations. Very, very cool. So I tell you what, that's the show today. That's the winners. Maybe we'll have someone, Julio or someone else, maybe put those in the chat if you could. Make it a little easier on us. And Julio, Julio, you have one job over this next week, okay? And that job is maybe finally getting us a better horn. I've been off that for a little bit because I don't know. I just had to take a break on that, but maybe get a horn. And 2, make sure you contact StreamYard, whatever you need to do to get those slides working again for next week, because we have another guest coming on next week. So looking forward to that as well. So yeah, I tell you what, well, that is today's show. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for putting up with no slides today. And then also having a great guest, Ryan, on. I tell you what, I really enjoy Ryan. He's great to work with. Makes absolutely fantastic cutaway padlocks and maybe some other stuff soon if he wants. But man, it's really great. It's really great, and I absolutely love this. I wish for those of you who have bought them or going to buy them, when you get them, take a picture, post us with us, or send it to us. Tell us what you really think, because I tell you what, it's an absolute thing of beauty. It really is. But, you can tell there's a lot of care and effort that goes into it. And you can really see he enjoys it. So pretty cool. But all right. So, hey, that's the show today. Make sure if you have some time, want to hang out, hop in over to the Discord. I'll be on there here in just a little bit, for probably about an hour or so before I have to go pick up one of my children from dance. So come out, hang out with me and others. Have a good time. And remember, Adrian Hawley is the pillow, not the punching bag. A pillow maybe that's not the right one either. I don't know. I'll have to come up with something better later. But and until then, have a absolute wonderful Tuesday evening. Stay safe out there. Keep doing that lock and key work, and we will see you next time.